The first iPad mini came out last year, and we loved its design, its size, and its portability. But it wasn't quite up to par spec-wise with the full-size iPad, which featured a Retina display and a faster processor. This year, Apple's changed the way it's approached the iPad lineup. Both the current 10-inch iPad, known as the Air, and the second generation iPad mini are very much alike. The new iPad mini finally has a Retina display, which gives it twice the pixel density as the original version. Speaking of which, it also has a higher pixel density than the iPad Air. But what does this mean? It means that the iPad mini's display is one of the best we've ever seen on a tablet of this size. Pictures and videos look vibrant, fonts and text are incredibly sharp and easy on the eyes, and you can't see a single pixel anywhere. The same could not be said about the original iPad mini. Now, when looking at the two minis side by side, it's a night and day difference, and you're probably not going to be able to go back to a lower res screen again. The other area in which the mini has really stepped up is its processor. It's made a 2-generation jump from the A5 in the first mini to an A7 in the new one. Again, the difference between the two devices is staggering. Programs load so much faster. Games look so much crisper with fewer frame skips, and it handles multitasking better than before. You're going to see a lot of similarities between this and the iPad Air, although the Air is slightly faster at 1.4 GHz while the Mini is 1.3. However, this is such a minor difference, you're probably not going to see it. Additionally, the new Mini is just a teensy bit heavier and just a hair thicker than the old one. But again, we're talking about incredibly minute changes here. The size and weight is to accommodate the larger battery, so ultimately we think it's very much worth it in this case. It's also still lighter than the Air, though it's just as thick at 7.5mm. Speaking of the battery, we were able to get at least a couple days of normal use out of it. The only exception would be if we're constantly watching videos or playing games, but that's kind of a given. Still, we played an HD video on endless loop, and the Mini made it through almost 12 hours before the battery died. The iPad mini with Retina display starts at $399 for the baseline Wi-Fi only model, and $529 for the baseline cellular option, with the price going up $100 for each tier of storage you choose. It goes all the way up to 128 gigabytes. If you get the cellular option, the Mini also enjoys excellent LTE coverage and compatibility with most carriers around the world, so you're less likely to run into issues if you're traveling internationally. Since the first iPad mini started at $70 less, we would have much rather seen the new generation at a lower price. Now, on the Android side, you can get a pretty well-packed Nexus 7 for $229, but at least the Mini is still competitive with other high-profile 8-inch tablets such as the Galaxy Note 8. This is just a brief overview of the new iPad mini with Retina display, but head to our full in-depth review at Engadget.com to get all of the pros and cons.